Hello everyone, Shadefire here, and welcome back to Let's Play DreadOut. This is episode 3. Now that we're done messing around with the town, let's actually go look for our fellow students who have gone missing in this school. Here's Ira. She's still just hanging out waiting for us.
I have a bad feeling about this place.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Sis, I don't feel so good.
Don't tell me you're a little afraid of ghosts. Alright, let's head inside.
Holy crap. That was like some kind of crazy museum tour or something.
What the? It's already dark out? How long were we in there anyway?
It really is getting late. Okay, kids, gather round. It's time to head back.
Well, I guess we don't need to go looking for them anymore.
Hey, where's Yayan?
Ah, crap. Where the heck did he run off to now?
So Yayan, the know-it-all dork, has gotten lost. Of course he would.
Yayan! Hey! Yayan!
Yayan! Yayan! Try calling his phone.
I'm trying to right now, Miss Siska.
Yayan! Yayan!
Gee, weird how this abandoned town doesn't have coverage. So, Ira passed out, and now everyone is missing. And we can't get out. We open Linda's journal here. You can see we need to find everyone else and find a way out. You think we might be able to climb out a window or something, even though all the shutters closed. But yeah, here we are inside the school. This is kind of the main setting of Act 1. It is where we'll be spending the rest of our time. And our kind of goal for the act is to find our way out of here. Again, while it is equally extremely dark in here, it's not quite as bad as outside because there's a lot more walls to catch our light. Something ghostly about this place, but I believe that is just because the door is locked by ghosts. I wish you didn't have to pop this up every time, but if you want to see what the objective is, you have to open this. See, somehow the exit door cannot be unlocked, but it seems like the only way out. Yep, there's only ever one way out of a building, especially a school. It's not like there'd be a fire exit or anything. So there are two doors, one of them doesn't do anything, and one of them is locked by mysterious power. Or just locked. So there's not much we can do in this entry hall. Let's do a little exploring. Alright, this is the door that was locked from the other side, so we'll have to circle around if we want to unlock it. The closet door is locked. That doesn't look like a closet at all. It just looks like a door with a bunch of junk in front of it. So two of the ways out of this room are locked. But there's a hallway over here. More spooky phone calls. Anything in this classroom? There are a lot of classrooms in this school, as you might expect from a school, and a lot of them don't actually have anything important in them. Well, there's a hostile spirit around. There appears to be a large, unsavory pig in the middle of the hallway, and if you'll notice here, I actually didn't even notice this the first time I played this game, but there is actually a keyring kind of hanging off the boar, the pig, or whatever this is. Let's just go for him. So, when we look at him normally, you can see he's just got a pig face. But if we pull out our camera and not get hit, you can see he actually has a man face. Oh, I hope we didn't get limboed there. Enough photos will keep him off of us. Take a couple shots and he'll actually flee. Gotta chase down that pig. So when he flees, he actually runs into this part of the wall, and you cannot follow him there. Eventually he'll come back out and start roaming the halls again, but there's not much we can do about him right now. We'll need to get those keys eventually. So, let's double back to the hallway that I kind of sprinted through there. First, just make sure I'm not missing anything in here. There should be a shortcut. Yeah, this will lead back to the hallway that we came from. So you might think that now that we've opened up the shortcut, we could actually cut off the boar and keep him from getting back to his little hideout. Unfortunately, that's not quite the case. We're actually going to need to do some other stuff before we can really do anything about the boar. Who has his own Ghostopedia entry, of course. We go to Ghostopedia here. You can see that that's a Babi Njepet, which is not at all how you say that, but I don't actually know how to say that. Maybe I should look up the pronunciations of these spirits. So it's a rich person that used dark magic to get rich, which somehow then drains money from people's houses. Anything in here? Oh, it's just the bathroom. Maybe we'll find Hanako, the bathroom ghost, in here. Red or blue? So I mentioned that this is actually not very long. Oh, pig is coming back. Our ghost sensor's picking him up because he's on the other side of the wall. Yeah, he's probably right around this corner. can see that he has a couple of seconds of immunity, just like the other ghosts, so you can't just rapid-fire snap him. Alright, before we go up here, just want to make sure... he's already back. Our health does regenerate too, as long as we don't take a couple hits. Might have also noticed another fellow in the background there. He's another ghost that just kind of hangs around. You'll probably see him pass by a couple times. But we'll pay more attention to him in a sec. Just want to find these notes hanging around. Get an authentic jenglot. So this is a thing in Indonesia. It's kind of a tiny idol corpse thing that supposedly grows real hair and nails. So I'm not really informed enough to go into detail about this, but the impression I've been given is that in Indonesia, what we'd kind of consider superstition here in, Western countries is still kind of the norm there. Like, they don't consider it superstition to believe in things like, getting luck from a jenglot. Or maybe they do. But, yeah, that's the impression I've been given, is that superstition is kind of still just a normal part of everyday Indonesian culture. And the two are intertwined in such a way that it's not just like, village peasants. It's like, city folk, even, will believe in things of that nature. But again, I don't want to cast some sort of judgment because I don't know enough about Indonesia to really, go into detail about the whys and hows of that. What's that boy? Yayan fell down the well? Sure, let's follow this twitchy ghost. Do you hear something? So you might notice here, there appears to be some strange things we can see that we can't see without our camera. We'll get to those. This staircase here goes back into the reception hall. So we've opened up another path. I wonder if that's important. I kind of wish that they did the thing... I don't know if I've seen a lot of games do this, but there's a game called Cold Fear, where you're on a Russian whaling ship, and you're playing it as an American guy, but he can speak Russian, or at least read Russian, I guess? Not speak Russian, just read it. So if you aim at, signs on the wall and stuff, you actually get a little subtitle that tells you what it says, which I think would be neat in a game like this as well. Because I'm not saying that everything should be written in English. Obviously, we're in Indonesia, and the fact that there's English voice acting is just kind of a compensation so you understand them. It's kind of just a media thing that we assume that they're actually speaking Indonesian, and we're just hearing it as they hear it, but in English. If that makes any sense at all. I feel like I'm the most convoluted person when it comes to explaining things. So we did find that note that says something about students being hung but actually murdered in this high school. And there is something spooky around in this room, or something mysterious. If I can remember where it is. I think there's a note in here. I could be wrong, this actually might be in a different room entirely. It can be a little confusing that way, because if there's something on the other side of a wall, it'll still pop the aura, even if you can't see it. Got like a library here. I apologize for these camera angles, they do sort of pop around sometimes. And this brings us to the other side of the school. I think this is where we'll find the thing that kept popping up for me. Today I got caught up on work and almost missed curfew. Town has a pretty strict rule about being outside on Thursday nights. All sorts of superstitious nonsense, local tradition, they seem to have a lot of them. So I'm presuming this guy is not actually just like someone who moved here from a city, this is actually somebody who's not Indonesian. That sounded like a ghost noise. Oh, there's our teleporting fellow. I guess he's not teleporting, he's just zipping around at the speed of sound. But he always just leads us here, which we can't follow him. Maybe he wants us to go to the other side of the second floor, where the staircase is actually broken off in the reception hall, so we can't even go up there. Alright, so we've explored these rooms. Thankfully we can tell which ones we haven't explored just by looking at which doors are still open. Can't really get around in here because there's like a desk barricade. Oh, there we go. Slipped around it. But there's nothing back here. He seems pretty harmless, though. I mean, he's not attacking us or anything. So, back here is actually behind the school, and you can see there's trees and stuff. That does lead outside. Apparently we can't escape by just climbing out this window and hopping into that tree, though. Then again, we also have to find our missing friends, so we can't just leave without them. That would be kind of rude. Yep, another empty classroom. I would stop and look around a bit more, but there's actually not that much to see in these classrooms. What's that? Is that an poltergeist? A authentic Jenglot? With real skin and hair and nails? Well, just hair and nails. But yeah, these are like little shrunken men, I guess. Like shrunken heads, but an entire tiny body. And this is the second mystical object, in addition to that cursed dagger, or what have you, that we found in the second episode. Again, that just increases our health, our regeneration, our walk speed, and shortens the distance we need to run in limbo. Okay, I've already been in here. So I think we've been everywhere on this side of the school. Well, at least on the top floor. We haven't been around this corner where this breathing is coming from. Got ourselves a new spirit here. Oh, and there's our ghost friend popping through us. So, this is the first ghost that actually has a real weak point. Now she got us. You have to hit her in that hole in her back. Well, that was easy. You can keep hitting her in the front, and, you know, it'll stun her like that, but it doesn't actually do damage, I don't think. Or at least it doesn't do enough to finish her off. So that's the Sundel Bulong. A prostitute in life. She was murdered by a jealous patron. Which makes her into a woman with a hole on her backside? She terrorizes men, but she's also an equal opportunity ghost. She's bi-haunchual. so that's all outside. And again, there's no stars or anything in this town. Got something to show me yet, Ghost? Or are you just still gonna zip around? I think this aura that keeps popping up is actually downstairs. Alright, what do we got in here? Anything? Some spooky cross sections. A really low resolution skeleton. A rash of fires in the town. And this is the hallway we were just in, I believe. But maybe not. I don't know. I get turned around very easily in this school. Everything kind of looks the same in the dark. Everything floats down here. Those squat toilets. I hear a gurgling sound. Guess there's nothing here. Okay, so... Man, I'm very turned around right now. Well, we haven't been over here. Yeah, it's another dead end. This is a nurse's office. You know, funny thing, we don't actually have nurses' offices here in Canada. I assume the reason those are a thing in places like the States is actually because, you know, they don't have free healthcare. Here, something happens to a kid at school, you just send them off to, you know, the hospital. Or a clinic or whatever. So yeah, I always thought that was funny that, you know, there's so much American media where it's like, oh, just send you off to the nurse's office, or even like in Japan and all that. But as a kid I was always like, weird, how come we don't have those? Is this where I want to be? Oh, okay, we're making some progress here. Someone talking about their baby. So this is like the teacher's offices, I believe. And this is the principal's office. Somewhere around here. Yeah, this is like the faculty room here, I believe. And this over here should be the principal's office. Yeah, this little room here. There he is. So there's spooky music that plays here, and if we look over in this closet door is locked. And we're actually going to need to get in there at some point. Ah, here we go. So here's the other side of the main hall, the upstairs area. So, look at these shapes, these, you know, red-colored splotches, and watch as I line them up and see if you see something. Does that one on the left kind of look like something now? So where we're standing right now, we can't actually line these up. We have to be on the other side of the room. I think. It's hard to tell. Even when these are perfectly lined up, they don't look exactly like they should. Like, you can see that red and white box that needs to line up with the one above it. We can't really get far enough away to do that from here. But just keep in mind that those are kind of human-shaped. Alright, so that'll do it, I think, for this episode. We're already kind of long, but I just want to get all the boring rooms out of the way before we make some serious progress. And, you know, get hold of those keys. So next time, we'll explore the downstairs of this side of the school, and hopefully get our hands on something that we can use to get the keys from the pig. But until then, I've been Shadefire, this is DreadOut, and I will dread things again with you next time. Until then, you folks all take care.